Hello, welcome to another installation of TechTalk. No, it's not Friday today. It is a short week. We've got grand final week. So very welcome to everybody. I hand it over to Mikey.
Hey guys, how's everyone going? I hope you're all well. Off the back of another live stream last week. So we're talking all things live streams. We may even delve into some earlier live streams as well. And yeah, we've got a very special guest today. So we'll pass it over to Josh. And Josh, if you'd like to introduce our guest, and we'll get going.
Thanks, Mike. G'day, everyone. I feel very, very privileged today to have this special guest from very, very far away. Today, we have Andy Axtell from Axtell Services, all the way up in Michigan, in a completely different time zone than us. And hey, Andy, if you want to win the lottery, just ask us. We'll tell you what the actual numbers were from yesterday today.
It'd be in Australian dollars, though, not green notes. I'm sorry.
Did I mix that up? No, it's tomorrow's numbers today. Yeah, that's right. That's yesterday's numbers aren't going to help you. But anyhow, Andy, welcome,
You've just confused things.
Thank you. Welcome. Thanks for joining us on TechTalk. Concrete polishing, grinding, Michigan. Tell us your story, man, because that's everyone's got a unique way of finding their way into the grinding and polishing game, and we just love hearing the stories about it and the challenges. So, hey, tell us a bit about Andy from Axtell Services and how you got in the game, mate.
Yeah, no problem. I always been in the trades. My father started our business. Primarily, we were just industrial painters, painting factories, commercial painting, stuff like that, retail. And it was like one job we were on, I think about 10 years ago, maybe about 15 now. Saw a guy doing epoxy floors, and just saw him out there doing his thing and started chit-chatting with him. And then slowly kind of, as we moved on to our next projects, we had customers asking us, hey, do you guys do floors? And it's, yeah, we'll check it out. So quickly got some education and started applying floors, just doing a resinous flooring. And then, as that progresses and you learn more about the machines and started hearing about polishing. And I think that was like 2009 or 10. And then as I found out my manufacturer does like a basic 101 and, oh yeah, use these diamonds, step them right up, and you'll get your polish. Yeah. That was my coaching basically. So then I've been on the struggle bus for about 10 years, honing that craft.
Yep.
Yeah, so I came in through that. So I run the flooring division of the company, and my dad still handles a lot of the painting. We're about 50-50, but it's been a lot heavier flooring, mostly polishing, because it seems to be our employees like the polishing. We're not dealing with chemicals and all that jazz,
What machines are you running, Andy?
I'm running a Husqvarna 820s. I got a 680, I got a 280, and a couple T5 single phase HTCs.
Yep. What's your main machine? What's the main machine you're getting out on the floors?
820.
Yeah, nice.
I put that on anything I can get it on. It's just, as you guys know, it's horsepower.
Yeah, man. Speaking like a true Australian.
I just need to get some of those sexy big block upgrades that you guys got.
Very sexy.
Yeah. That's it.
So what kind of projects do you normally deal with? Is it commercial, or are you doing a bit of residential as well in there?
Mostly automotive suppliers. So people that make all the parts for the automotive industry, because it's Detroit. So we still make a lot of those pieces. So there's no shortage of factories that need floors done all the time.
Yeah.
Wow.
They're great customers to have.
As far as polish is concerned, because obviously you guys are doing the epoxy and painting of floors. If you had to put it into numbers, percentage-wise, is the painting outweigh the polishing side, or is it vice versa?
Vice versa. Polishing outweighs by a lot.
Yeah. Wow.
How many have you got in the crew, in the business, Andy?
We fluctuate a lot with the summer help and then the regular help, but we have about 7 full-time guys, not including my father and I. And then my sister runs she's the office manager.
Nice.
Lovely.
So,
family business.
Awesome.
Family business, very much like Millsy.
Yeah, very similar story. I was in business with my dad as well, and he wasn't actually painting back in the day, but he was doing concrete resurfacing, and then he got asked to remove paint. So that's how he got involved. But yeah, similar kind of story.
That's hilarious.
I've joined a new family though now.
Yeah, I see that.
That's it. So Andy, I've got another question for you.
Yeah.
So you've been doing your thing. You've been running your family business. What made you stumble across TechTalk or Works Plus?
I'm always trying to see what people are doing. I noticed a lot of really good work coming out of Australia. And then I think naturally your guys came across the Instagram, primarily where I'm flying around on. And then I saw a lot of the stuff that you guys were doing. You're giving a lot of information out there that I just wasn't getting anywhere else. So I kind of stuck to it and started looking forward to when you guys started the Tech Talks and really enjoying everything you guys have been putting out.
I said in the introduction, we talk about past and more present and that sort of thing there. Some highlights from some of the Tech Talks. What's been some of the good topics you've enjoyed?
I don't know. I just kind of dig them. Like you guys' interaction's hilarious, I think. The information's great, but it's got to be entertaining, right?
This is us being serious.
You should see us off camera. It's loose.
Did you ever have to get out, the Google dictionary and see what we're talking about sometimes using the Australian slang, or you're pretty accustomed to it now?
I feel accustomed to it. If I don't, I just roll with it. Just assume what I want to assume.
Yeah, that's it.
More than 10 years in the game, Andy. Concrete grinding and polishing. If you talk to any concrete grinder or polisher, you won't find one that hasn't had struggles. Running a grinding and polishing business, what would you say is probably the key fundamentals of running these types of businesses?
I think key with the networking with the floor grinding business. I mean, I come from the painting background, and you walk into a paint supply store and everybody kind of like a bunch of gunslingers thinking they're going to steal your work. But like I go to the supply house for our diamonds and stuff, and everybody wants to talk about their problems, how they solve them. And it's really a different group than the painting side of the business. And that's pretty key, I think. And everybody's so happy to share. You go to the holiday parties that the places put on, and everybody's got great stories to tell about their problems and how they beat them and stuff like that.
Yeah,
that's fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is. It's something I really like about this business more than painting.
The knowledge share. Yeah.
Oh, that's it. It is. It's like, and we keep saying this, like we are a mobile manufacturing plant, and there's just so many aspects to it, and it's really great to see people, like you said, producing these incredible floors. And there's also in America, there's quite a few companies are doing the same thing and getting really good results. And then you see, on the other hand, it can be very mixed. And we have that here as well, obviously. But the quality is definitely, especially in the last 2 years, I feel, it's changed significantly.
I would agree 100% with that.
As far as I know, the epoxy grouting has come out of the US. Is that right? Because is that such a thing over there? It's
the majority of the thing.
Really?
Swear jar, Daniel. Not allowed to say that. That's the majority.
Yeah, it's a bummer. It's tough, man. You guys probably have done it too. And hands and knees squeegeeing across the floor with a metal blade.
Yeah, wow.
Not a good way to spend an afternoon.
Yeah. Have you given the machine grout a good go, as in with a proper polymer grout?
Oh yeah, definitely. I did my last 2 floors came out. I don't even think I posted them on our Instagram, but came out like mirrors, like kind of something like I see on your guys' stuff, and I've been really happy with what I've been able to stick into the floor.
Yeah,
so
that's awesome.
Andy, I've got a question for you, mate. So, what's predominantly the most common polished floor that you guys are doing over there? Like, are we talking? Are we doing these deep cuts? Are we getting into the stone and aggregate, or are we playing a lot around the surface polish area? Like, predominantly, what are you out there delivering?
The majority of what I deliver is I'm coming in because they've had failed epoxy. So to get rid of that, you're kind of by that just you're digging up a lot of the surface up. So it's going to be a random exposure.
Yep.
So what you're getting.
Yeah.
So get rid of low spots, get rid of gouges, all that jazz, and then. Yeah, random exposure is probably my most.
Yep. And do you find, so, you've got, say, seven guys that are polishing. You're doing a lot of these heavy cuts, and you have to introduce the grouting system to it. Is it the same process that you're following time and time again, or are you finding challenges on each different project, or like what kind of system have you got going moving forward with you guys to develop the same product time and time?
Yeah, this past year we really put in. It was always shooting from the hip, up until like the last year. We've kind of systemized our way of doing it. I mean, there's always variables you're kicking up in these floors, but we know what stages we're coming where. Everybody knows what to expect at that stage and what they're looking at finally, and then building it up from there. So yeah, we got a system of doing it now finally, and it's kind of really starting to get that almost like this is how we're working it. Besides, you may have to jump a tooling step here or there to clean something up.
Right. If you were to have a look at your process as a whole, and you were like, there's one thing that I'd like to tweak, or one thing that I think that I could perform a little bit better on, was there any part of your process that you'd want to, develop quicker, faster, more productive? Or are you pretty happy with the whole process as a whole?
I think the final, delivering that final good, like at the end, you're coming out of 800s, and then, you get somewhat a swirl on the floor, putting the guard down and burnishing that out, kind of getting that to really look more consistently even. Sometimes, you get that kind of different patterning a little bit. We get rid of it, but it'd be nice if we could clean that end stage up.
Yeah.
Deliveries.
Okay. Nice. With regards to sealers, just looking, because I follow a lot of the American market as well on my Instagram, and I see there is a lot of topical guards and stuff which are then heated up and polished up. Do you guys use a lot of penetrating solvent-based or water-based sealers that are not as topical?
I'm starting to use those more and more, and I like the penetrating sealers better. I think the floor comes out better, and it's like you were just talking about, they kind of doesn't show as much in the end. But yeah, topical is our main thing of choice up until about a year ago. Things have started changing in the last year.
So we could take out those funny marks at 800s right there.
Absolutely. Easy.
They always push those topical guards here. Guys use them as bailouts too. You get scratches, they just they call it juice, adding a little more juice to the floor.
Yeah.
A little bit more juice.
Yeah.
Sales, eh?
Yeah. It's tough. Like the failing epoxy customers we get, you get people have paid a premium for polish and it looks worn out in a year. Well, it's because all the topical's worn out.
Yeah, wow.
It seems like you've got a medium-sized business there. Do you see a good opportunity there to introduce a penetrating sealer and kind of step away from the guards and really hone in that project and show to the consumer and to the clients that you can get up to 6 to 7 years out of your polished concrete before you even need to just re-seal it with a penetrating sealer based on the maintenance that's happening on it?
Oh, 100%. I think there's plenty of room for that over here, and we've switched to more of those like penetrating sealers because of that. I don't think anybody knows really about it, and guys, as soon as they get their ship going one way, they don't want to deviate. Yeah. But we don't get, at least from our end, we don't get sales that much about it. I have to look or call the company and ask about things before they even tell me about their products. A lot of times.
Yeah. Well, it's lucky. It's Andy, you probably don't know this, but Kurt actually once upon a time was a sales rep at Works Plus. But these days he's Rock Up Group, and that's a separate business all on their own. Yeah. And it's probably a good thing that you didn't call Kurt or Daniel, because I've heard them both saying this morning, referring to penetrating sealers, and Works Plus doesn't even sell a penetrating sealer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we have an impregnating sealer, so I'm really surprised to.
Does it?
This,
so what?
Does it or does it not penetrate? Does it?
What? Okay.
Is it penetrating or not? Yes or no?
What is the difference? Penetrating, impregnating.
Again, Daniel, we could break this apart right now. Okay, so we need to stand together because there's a lot of grey area about obviously the wording that we're using. So is it or is it not penetrating? I'm going to say yeah.
A millimeter's a millimeter, right?
Is it or is it not? What do you know about millimeters?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Well, there's obviously a reason why I'm not selling for Works anymore, because it got to this point where I had to try and push the product, and it was clearly didn't know what I was talking about.
Kurt was always a really good salesperson. He could teach you everything from grinding. He could teach you all the grounding, condensifying, the texture. He'd get up to all the polishing stages and be like, good, doing well, Kurt, doing well. And then he could just never sell any of that impregnating sealer. And now we know why.
Oh, that's funny.
Sorry,
Todd.
I want to ask you the same question.
Yes.
You said before in your own defence, is it penetrating or is it not? Yeah. Well, I'll ask you the same question. Is it impregnating or is it not?
Impregnating?
Yeah.
Yes, it's impregnating.
Some might say that you need to first penetrate before you can impregnate.
We're talking about grinding guys? Or?
Let's see. You were just waiting for that. You led into that. That was written. That's been pre-thought about.
No. Sometimes things don't come out quite the way they were supposed to.
That happens a lot in this environment.
There's always talk about having a filter on over your mouth, and I probably should be wearing one of those. There is a difference between penetrating and impregnating, and that is that most of the if you like, guard products on the market do to some point penetrate, and that's part of the mechanical adhesion system as well. But they are still a topical, whereas an impregnating sealer leaves no topical. There is no mechanical barrier or anything like that. So it only works from within. A penetrating sealer does work its way in, penetrates and locks in, but it works from the top. So
leaves like a residue. It's going to leave like a residue at the top, where an impregnating, you're saying, will actually completely immerse itself in.
Correct. Impregnate it.
Well, I'm the first person to put my hand up. When you learn something, you're always learning in this industry, and sometimes you're just going to put your hand up and go, "Yep, okay." That's pretty fair point, Dan. You've got the hat on, man. Like,
Dan, we need to have a talk about it after this, Dan.
Are you guys still doing sales training?
I was going to say, you can't have your job back,
Wow. Sorry about that, guys.
Hey, just so you guys know, I don't sell impregnating or penetrating sealers. I just sell totally the fan. All right. Well,
you just know it totally works.
Exactly. So I just want to get back on track. You're talking about some of the live streams, talking about donuts earlier on. Andy, why don't you tell us a little bit about, for some of you, like we had a little pre-discussion before, and we're talking about donuts, and you said that you were enjoying the live stream where we were talking about donuts and going deep. Tell us a little bit about what your experience have been with diamond tooling and getting exposure and that sort of thing, Andy.
Yeah, a lot of ours, when you walk into a project and the concrete's black. I'm sure you ran across that. It's just burned to hell. And you throw some diamonds on it, water, sand, and start going after it. And a week later, you're still going after it. Trying to. But when it pops, it pops. But yeah, it's extra soft tooling, single bars, anything you can get your hands on to get it. Some of that extra soft tooling they make, and I would just skate along the top of the surface and try to cross cutting it, and do whatever I could until saw the donut feature a couple weeks ago, and looking forward to using that in my next hard slab like that.
Yeah, I bet I'll never ever hear you say again that you go over it 10 times.
I hope not.
You've got the right machinery there to perform, and I'd love to open it to you right now and say, next time you get one of those really tight slabs, chime in with Rocked Up Group and let's get that stone exposure, or let's get that floor and create that profile in that first pass. Let's get that going, because twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times over a floor, you're making me crazy.
Oh yeah. I can imagine. But yeah, definitely we're definitely be on board next time that I run across that mess.
Yeah.
Love to be able to help out there for sure.
Yeah, because we see this all the time. People talk, you can't get exposure in one pass. And I guess, the donut, I know we've done this before, Josh. We've been on a project where we had to cut 30 mil down, and we did 13 mil in one pass. Yep. You just gotta give that machine time to dig in and push forward, push that donut, and let your tooling work and create the right environment for that tooling to bite into that nice lip.
Absolutely. Andy, I've got a question for you. I've been going to World of Concrete for over a decade, and every time I go to World of Concrete, Americans always say, "Oh yeah, I've seen all that polished concrete down under, and what you guys have there looks absolutely fantastic. You guys have really nice concrete down there." Now, in Australia, we don't seem to think that we got nice concrete. What's your impression? Does America have the best concrete in the world, or does Australia have the best concrete in the world?
Australia may have the best concrete. We definitely have the hardest, I believe.
I could tell you, man. The world around, the concrete's the same.
Yeah.
Concrete is the same, and yeah, you got some hard concrete in the United States. They got some hard concrete in Australia too, but the world around, the concrete is the same. It's the techniques that are different.
It's the techniques. Yep.
It's one of the key things I've been picking up in your videos too. It's kind of like the little things that you're doing. Like I seen Kurt, just with you guys are pretty obvious showing your speeds on the machine and stuff like that. And then I realized I can push the machine in those ways, because they tell us to run it, when you get the tooling manufacturer and even our sales reps for Husqvarna, 5.5 all the time, because your machine will hover and won't grind.
Yeah.
Well, man,
who is your Husky rep?
We haven't even unleashed the beast. I mean, I've been playing it really, really soft for you guys. Behind closed doors, I'd have that thing rampant. I'm going to push that machine, and I'm going to take that floor to its limits, like we always say, till the floor's telling me to back up or stop. I want to get to that point as quick as I can, as fast as I can, until all the variables and all the stuff that's going on around me says, "Hang on, Kurt, you're punching above your weight." I'm going to dial that thing in. It's you're running machines at a high performance. Their productivity. So with the right setup, with the tooling, with the right operator, it's having hose. Put it all together, and you got a Big Mac.
Kurt, can you bring your own tooling next week for the live stream? Appreciate that.
Yes, he can. I'll bring it. I'll just book it out on your account, Kurt, and it'll be there. Josh, don't worry about it. All good.
Hey, Andy, Joshy just touched on the World of Concrete. Have you been to the World of Concrete?
Yeah, I went right before COVID lockdown. It was funny because we were there. I didn't even know what was going on. And then I think I was in my hotel room one night, and the BBC was talking about China had some killer virus. And I'm like, that's crazy. Get on a plane, come home. And I think it was 3 weeks later, they locked us down.
Wow.
Yeah.
But I was a big World of Concrete is pretty fun. It's a good time.
Yeah,
if you like going to every store and...
Till we have our big work life trip there next time. That'll be good.
Oh, for sure. I'd like to see you guys there.
Hey, Milan, can I ask you a question?
Go for it.
You've been really reserved today.
I didn't even know Milan was there. I've got my that screen up. Hey, Milan. How's it going?
Hi, Milan.
My phone's gone crazy. Really, really reserved. You guys are asking all the good questions.
I have another question for you, Andy.
Yeah.
When you're not concrete grinding and polishing and creating magnificent floors, what are some things you like to do?
Like I said, me and my dad just got back from hunting out west, so that was a good time. I work with him all day, but why not vacation with him, right?
Yep. Yeah, fantastic.
And then, what do you hunt?
We were just out there hunting deer.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, doing that, and then hanging with the family. My wife enjoys outdoor stuff, so we're always outside hiking or something like that.
That's fantastic.
For sure.
So what are your family barbecue gatherings? Is it always, talking about work, or? Because I know...
We try not to, but I think that's all my dad knows. They're funny conversations. He'll see him squirming. Like he wants to talk about a project.
Yeah.
Hey,
he lives and breathes construction.
Because you live up Michigan, Detroit. Do you know the show Hardcore Porn, where like that porn shop where they sell all the the goods back to the store and stuff?
Oh, right.
I'm sorry, I've got a quick question. Daniel, what do you like doing in your spare time?
Well, I used to watch that show. It's actually quite fun. It's also family business. They're talking, they always want to make money and selling, big jewelry, and it's interesting.
I know at the start of the chat, Daniel mentioned that it's grand final week here. So That's Aussie Rules AFL Grand Final week, mate. So if you want to tune in and have a bit of a look at that, if you enjoy your sport, I know I enjoy the NFL. Go Seahawks. But if you want to tune in and no helmets, no pads here, mate. It's just it's certainly something for you to have a bit of a look at. You probably enjoy it.
Yeah, I got lucky and I played a little rugby in college. That was a good time.
Different thing. There's rugby and then there's Aussie Rules, mate. You'll have to tune in and have a bit of a look.
Rugby league, Aussie Rules, and porn.
What? No.
I'm saying that's what we
not just porn, but hardcore porn. Right there.
If you don't believe it, then just check it out. It is in Detroit.
Yeah, I just want to go. I want to go on the record here. I didn't bring up the porn thing.
I need your help here.
I know the show, Daniel, but I'm going to let you keep digging on that one.
We call them cash converters here.
That would have been the appropriate way to go into it, Brian. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good time.
Channel 73. Is it 7,
Digging.
mate?
You
7,
are
mate?
digging.
7, mate.
Anyway,
Anyway,
you guys are getting a little bit too excited here. I was actually being quite serious, but you know what?
Okay.
It's very hard to hold you guys back. So,
what is that?
Feels like an earthquake.
Are you guys shaking there?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Are you serious?
Yep.
all right. Oh man.
No way.
You guys all right?
Wow, we don't get earthquakes here.
It's actually quite a decent earthquake.
That's very good. We never get earthquakes here. Wow. That's amazing.
Wow.
Is it still going?
God, kidding.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
That's unbelievable.
Holy cow.
Get underneath your table.
No.
Whew.
Oh man, it's still going.
Yeah, I could see the screen jiggle on my end.
Whoa. That was hectic.
Man, that is
Wow.
crazy. That is crazy. That was pretty full on.
I've never
That's the biggest
been in an
TechTalk we've
earthquake.
ever had.
Wow.
Somebody pushed that donut too far.
Yeah.
I was like,
Who pushed it?
am I the only one feeling this?
Kurt's unleashing the machine.
Man, I was running out of here. I didn't know if this building would be able to stay up.
Oh man, that was full on.
Wow.
Hey guys, I gotta call my family. I gotta make sure they're all right.
Wow.
All right.
That's pretty intense. Welcome. So there you have it. Live earthquake, real time. Wow.
Well, thanks for joining TechTalk, Andy. I'm real excited. You really shook things up for us. You really
made the earth move, Andy.
Yeah.
Oh man.
We may be here next week.
Yeah, I hope so.
Wow.
Andy, thank you so much for joining this TechTalk session. Really appreciate you making the time, man. Keep up the great work. Keep joining in, and we love to see some more of your great floors coming out. And hit up. You've got Jay and Victoria down at Concrete Supplies, or am I saying it the right way? Yeah, Josh.
Eno
Supplies.
Supplies. Yeah. They have a full range of Works Plus gear there, so they're very knowledgeable and really great people. So hit them up when you get a chance. They'd love to help you out. They also got some e-sprays coming too. What I hear.
Yeah, I have them on me, give me a warning when those come in town finally.
Yeah, good stuff. Hey gentlemen, have a lovely afternoon. Stay safe, and we'll see you again in another week. Enjoy the long weekend.
Thanks for shaking things up, Andy.
See everyone.
You really shook things
Made
up.
an impression.
We will never forget this one.
No.
All right, Andy. Have a great night, man. We'll
Thanks again, Andy. Really
we'll
appreciate
catch
it.
again. We'll catch up again, sure.
Yeah, thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate it too.
All right.
Thanks for chiming in, Andy.
Thanks, Andy.
Legend. Pleasure to meet you.
All right, ciao.
Here.
See you, bud.
Thanks, guys.